Alrighty, here we are. We are on it. And today, yeah, we're bringing it. We are bringing it. Uh, Hello, welcome. My name is Steve. This is the Axe of Justice, and what we're going to end up doing here. I so like that thing. Welcome to the Varied Life. Again, Steve, retired hobby tech guy, American expat here in Korea. Yeah, it's the 16th of January, Friday. So if you're in the United States, it's yesterday or today for you. I'm in the future. So I'm traveling back in time to let you know what's going on with painting miniatures. Yeah, here in Korea, it's a little chilly today. A little chilly, but not bad. We had 50-degree weather, I think, yesterday. I think today's going to be like 47. Then it's going to dip back down into the 20s. It's going to be cold. Okay. Today we're going to talk about how to speed paint a Tyranid miniature that we printed on the Creality K2 Plus. I ended up doing some little recalibrations and input tuning and all that cool stuff that you can do in the auto bed leveling because things were, I don't know, not 100% with the K2 Plus, but shut it down, brought it back up, did all that stuff, did a test print, and instead of doing the little benchy that most everybody does, I thought, why not we do another miniature? Because we had some good results with the other two miniatures that we did. Now this Tyranid, which is a xenomorph from the world of Warcraft, well, not Warcraft, Warhammer, and one-page rules and a bunch of other offshoot type of games, where if you have these insect bugs that are, ravenous, they're the cancer of human everywhere, the Imperium, the whole nine yards, they're just bad bugs. Kind of like, what was that movie? Not Starfleet, Starship Troopers, where they fought the bugs. Kind of like that. And that's probably the best reference I can give if you're not a geek. So we printed this thing up on the Creality K2 Plus. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to take a look and see how that is faring. With that, some people have asked me, how do I paint with speed paints? And so we're going to go and we're going to speed paint this guy over on the table over there. And if we take a look, we can kind of see him there. And we'll actually zoom in. I got a bunch of other stuff that I gotta end up doing. But if we zoom in, there is the Tyranid that we're going to be painting. And yeah, he's quite the character. It turned out pretty good. So yeah, we had some good results with that. Found it on Cults 3D, free. Put Tyranid or Bug or whatever, and you can find a bunch of free models that you can end up printing. So we're going to go through and we're going to paint this guy up. Before that, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to talk about how we primed this up, because some people are asking, well, if I print something in resin or if I print it with an FDM printer and I use like PLA or something, do I need to prime it? The answer is yes. You probably should prime your miniatures before you paint them. We did a miniature where we didn't prime it and we just painted it and it turned out okay. Matter of fact, we have them over here. This is kind of a larger miniature. This was printed on the K2 Plus, and yeah, it did okay. I mean, we did the Art Deco paints and stuff like that, and it turned out really, really well. But still, we still get some areas that we can see, like on the leg there, where it wasn't like smooth. We got some different kind of texture on there, and a little bit of bleeding, I guess you could say. And so all of that happened because we didn't prime our miniature that we printed in PLA. So even though this turned out really good, and I'm really happy with this, I would have gotten better results if I had primed the model. So that's what we ended up doing, is with our Tyranid, we're going to prime that model. Now, through the magic of editing and all of this, and since I am in the future, since it's Friday here in Korea, and most people are in out in the United States or other countries where it's not Friday, yeah, I'm from the future. We're going to take a look and show you the priming process on how I primed and zenithaled this. Thank you for the like. I appreciate that. That is good. Likes are always good. So let me see if I can get this. I'll show how I ended up priming this guy from PLA as Polymaker PLA, matte PLA, black. And so we did a black prime, and then what we ended up doing is a zenithal. So we're going to go through those. I'm going to see if I can make sure that the mic still works. Okay, so we're going to jump right there. And I think we're still going. Yeah. So there he is in the black PLA. We haven't done anything yet. And there's my little paint station booth. Those things are pretty nice. I just got some Rust-Oleum filler, primer, paint filler, primer, whatever. And this is kind of a gray color. So all we ended up doing is just kind of going through and about, you can see the angle, like a 3/4 degree angle down, kind of simulate to like where the sun would be coming down, and I'm kind of hitting the model. And so with that, the black primer underneath, which will add shadows. And so we're going to get a little bit of gradient. And so I'm kind of checking the model out. There's some places there that I want to be able to get a little bit on the body. And yeah, this is kind of what we're looking at here. So we're getting that top-down view. It's going to be gray. And we did gray, and then we're going to end up doing, this is the gray, and we're going to end up doing the white. So that turned out pretty good. And so we got some real good coverage. You can still see the black in there and where it's gradient for some shadows down underneath, and we'll take a look at that when we get to the table. Let's take a look at the second zenithal. Now here is the second zenithal, which is the white. So that's the gray. That is all the gray primer filler. And this is the white primer that we're going to use. And I'm hoping that we'll get a little bit of a different gradient. I'm not sure. We're just checking this out. So we're just going to go here and do the shaky wakey thing. And we're going to put on that white. And you can see that we're going to highlight kind of the top areas and some points of focus. Of course, there's a great view of my hand that is in the way of the camera, so I apologize for that. But basically, we're kind of doing the same thing, but we're just hitting some areas that we want to highlight with that white color. So yeah, that's what we ended up doing there. It turned out, I think it turned out pretty good. And so with that being said, what I'm hoping is that with a regular zenithal, you have your black primer, and then you do your white zenithal. So for example, if we have this miniature here and he's painted all in black, you have the white coming down, spraying at this angle to simulate kind of what light would come down if you have the light in this, the sunlight coming down on this area. So you're going to get some highlighted areas on, like, you know, that, you know, his arms, things like that, where you definitely would see the shine of the light. And you can even see the shine of the light on, like, you know, on his shoulders. You can see a little bit of the light shining on his head. So that's what we ended up doing, is we're simulating that by doing that zenithal process. It works out pretty good. What I'm hoping is for the gray will give us a little bit of a different gradient, I guess you could say. We're going to have some white, then we'll have some gray, and then that gray will transition into the dark shadow tones. Now, will this make a big difference when we do our painting? I don't know. So I figured we'd give this a shot and we see what happens. The worst thing that happens is we don't see a difference from regular zenithal and white. So maybe I blew like 2 or 3 cents worth of spray paint. So no big loss. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and we'll go to the paint station here. Let me make sure that I've got, yep, there we are. That top left-hand corner, you're going to have some pictures of me because I don't have a camera So that'll just kind of rotate through some things. I've already had my morning coffee, and we're gonna get the tablet. So if I get any questions, let's see if we can get this going. Da, 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 na, na, na. And trying to find the live videos. Where's the live video? There it is. Boom. Okay. So here is our Tyranid. And what we can end up seeing is that it turned out really, really good. This is printed out at a 0.16 millimeter layer height. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there is a slight difference between like the white that we see versus the gray. And it's really, I don't know, it's really rough. But then as we turn it down, we can also see that we have the shadows on there. And that will help with getting that gradient when we use our speed paints, because they'll be able to be a little see-through-ish. And yeah, that'll turn out good. I'm really psyched for this. This is going to look really neat. So now, let's see. We got John Klopp. Looks really cool. Yeah, does really good. Welcome to the stream. We got Swedish Forges here. Hey, John King. The nozzle size from John is asking is 0.4 nozzle. Yeah, 0.4 nozzle with the 0.16 millimeter layer height. And the only thing that I changed on this was basically, what was it? The top Z distance, because this was not all one figure. It was a bunch of different parts. So I had to reorientate them onto the build plate, do supports. I did a few manual supports, and if you look at a previous video, I can show you that. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. I was pretty happy with that. And we also did previously to this, we have done some other miniatures, smaller, 32 millimeter on the K2 Plus, and those turned out exceptionally well. I was really surprised. But we're not here to talk about those. We're here to talk about this guy. And we need to come up with a paint scheme of some sort. So with that, let's see. Oh, and also talking about the nozzle size, I do have a 0.2 and a 0.25 nozzle that I ordered, and it should be coming in soon, hopefully. We're keeping our fingers crossed. So, yeah, that'll be a good thing. Here is our, I don't think we're going to be able to use this. This is a miniature handle, paint handle that I made, the TVL 3265. Yes, it is quite the incredible piece of machinery. And I made this in Tinkercad, so we can take this off. And it's just held together with some hair bands. You can do your ponytail. I don't have enough hair to do a ponytail. But it should facilitate, and it's got that little thing there. And so hopefully, the idea is that we will be able to hold our miniature like that. So this is a 65 millimeter base, so obviously that is working. We're going to get our little bit of water going here. My rinky-dink little dry wash brush type of thing. And we'll get a little bit of water going. Okay, and we need to decide what our color scheme is going to be. I thought about thinking about this last night, and I was like, I'll just wait till tomorrow. something that we need to look at is we've got kind of this stuff here, and then we've got his head, and it's got like some bony structure, kind of like a shell, so that's going to be a color. And then we have like plates, like armor and stuff like that. Ferrithus is here. He says good morning. Good morning. So we're got to have a different color for like the armor, which is going to be the bones and the scales. And he's got it on his thighs. He's got it on his kneecap. He's got some plates there. And then we have like his arm, and we've got like a little tiny area there, which is interesting. Maybe we could do like an accent color where, we could do something kind of cool. So there's another one there. We've got a little stripe on his leg there that we could put some color in. And then his tail. I'm kind of wondering what colors we should do. So, I mean, we could go for like a bone color, which we have bony matter. Since we're using the Army Painter speed paints, we could do bony matter, and then that could be good. And we also have these spiky thingies, pointy spiky thingies, talons or whatever. We could do something like that in black. Or we could do, yeah, we could do those in black, which would be interesting. I don't think that is black. Grim black. Ferrith says, I printed polycarbonate last night and found out that the last proofs of firmware, they made the print bed warm up, pause before printing 10 minutes. Pause 10 minutes? Really? Wow. You print PLA, they don't pause for that at all. Lucky you. That's odd. Yeah, I haven't updated my Creality K2 Plus because there's so many other people that are having problems with it. I'm kind of happy with it, so I'm not going to update anything for a minute. So let's see. So we'll do the black with like these long talons and stuff like that. And then as far as we could do the bone matter, and then I'm wondering what we could do for like his face and everything. That is going to be something interesting. Let's see what I get. No, okay. I thought I had some squirrely. I could do him in red and then do like the bones and stuff in the bony matter. I could do the talons in black, and I could do him in red, and then we'd have some real good contrast for like the teeth and the claws. We could do those in bony matter as well. And so we could have a red, and then like these little spiky bits, we could end up doing some black on that, black hooves and talons. I think that would look cool. I don't know. Earth says, yeah, I regret that. I contacted support to maybe change that time. I got a graphite bed, so I don't have to wait for that stuff. We're going to use a classic green, yellow, brown on the flesh. I'm thinking about maybe red. Maybe doing the red on his body, on the flesh parts, and then for the talons we'll do the black, for the bones, skulls we will do the bony matter, and yeah, I don't know. And then maybe since on like some of these areas here, he's got like a torn away area there or something, put black in there. That would be real contrasty. So I don't know, but let's start off with I guess we could start off with the bony matter. And we will begin this. I already had my latte, but now I'm on my hydration. So let's do the bony matter, and we will try that out first. Let's see how that looks. Ferris says, thinking of the Tyranids from Helldrivers, Warhammer ones are actually more skin color in red. Yeah, I've seen those. And I haven't done, this will be my first Tyranid. So, popping my cherry here with this guy. So we'll see how this goes. And I think we're going to need a bunch of this, probably. And I don't know how this is going to work. If that's going to be, could be interesting. So I like that bone color already. I wish I had a little tiny cup. I guess I could just pour it out on here. I guess it's not too big of a deal. And then with this, we can just lather this on. And it's cool that we can get into the creases and the crevices with all of this to give it more detail. And we can just go to town with this. Like I said, I don't know if the little gray primer that we did first and then the white over that will cause any perceptible difference. It's just something I thought, well, maybe we can get a little bit, something a little bit different. We'll see how this goes. I'll just kind of lather this stuff on so it'll really get into the crevices and get some good details. And the cool thing is with the, even though this is 0.16, we're not getting, I think it's just because of the model, it's not, the layer lines are not detracting from the model because it's got kind of a organic, you know, bony type of look to it anyway. You did a stage 3 zenithal. Yeah, I did, primed it with black, as you can see there. And then I put on some gray. It's real hard to see. Then I did like a gray primer. And then I came back with a white to highlight some different areas to see if that would make a difference. If I could get a little bit different type of gradient. But I'm not sure if that is or not. So we'll see how that goes. Because really, I mean, we'd have to do one with just the white zenithal and then one with the gray and the white zenithal to see how that would turn out. That's turned out pretty good. I'm liking that already. I like it. Daddy likes. We can just pile this stuff on and get Get some good colors in there. Okay. Wow, that is nice. I like that. And we're going to need more of this. And we will do that there, and we'll have to come through and hit that. Of course, we got to go on there with the red too, so. And then for this thing, I think we'll end up doing it in black. So let's see, I need to do some other scaly bits, or plate, scale, whatever these things are. Of course, I probably should have done the the body first, but yeah, we can always, what the heck, live and learn, right? So that's turned out pretty good. It is early morning. It's not too early. It's what? It's almost 8 o'clock. So I've been up since 5:30. Actually, 5, and then just kind of piddled around a little bit. And yeah. I decided, you know what? We're going to paint this dude up. This is turning out nice. I like this. That's going to be a real good color. And that's the thing I like about the these speed paints. Excuse me. Is that with the zenithal you can get some pretty good coverage. Dun 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 dun. Fairtha says my goal is to get up at 6:30. 5:30 would be a little too much for me. Yeah, I mean I would like to sleep in more, but it is unfortunately I've got some chronic pain. And if I stay in one position too long, then what ends up happening is my back doesn't like it. And when my back doesn't like it, it'll seize up. And so, yeah, sleeping is kind of the, it's an interesting thing. I have a love-hate relationship with it. So if I can get about 5, maybe 6 hours of sleep, and then after that, what I'll end up doing is I'll take like a nap so I can get a little bit of sleep to try to get that, what, 7 or 10 hours of sleep you're supposed to get a night or whatever. So it's 11:58 here in Sweden. Gonna go to bed soon. Oh yeah, that Swedish is up late. Let's see if we can do some of this here. I don't know if this is gonna be. I'm probably gonna have to go back over this because we're gonna try to do red for the body. So really, I'll have to go back in and hit that stuff a little bit later. We'll just get some more contrasty areas. especially on that front part, to get some. Try to fill in some of those lines, the crevasses. That's turned out good. Got to get the little side pieces there. A little bit of underneath stuff too. I forgot all about that. Like I said, I got to go in there with the red. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see, next color. Since we did the bony matter. Ferris says 6 hours of sleep is what I average, usually enough to get me through the day. You're in one of those beds that you have to, that move you around throughout the night. Nah, my back will, with chronic pain, it's messed up because it'll get to the point of where I lay down, I'm comfortable, and then the pain gets, and then I'll move to try to get in a more comfortable position. And then, you know, I'll toss and turn and sleep for a little bit, toss and turn, sleep a little bit. So it's quite the interesting thing, getting sleep. Let's see what the black will look like for these things here. And we could probably, oh yeah, I think that's going to be nice. We can go back and do some of that bony matter on there. Now that I'm looking at it clearly. Oh, that is going to be nice. Nice, nice. I think I painted this a little bit. I could have done some more shadow work and not, but that is turning out good. That's looking kind of interesting. Back pain is a bummer. I had that briefly when I stopped working out for years. Definitely don't want to go back there. Yeah, I know. I think this will look good. And we can do some little black on some of these areas. The good thing about being retired is I can always take a nap, so that definitely helps. Yeah, this is going to be nice. Have some blood on the claws. Oh yeah, yeah. We'll definitely do some. We will definitely do some blood action on this, some blood splatter. to simulate him being fresh off the field of battle. And then, I'll come back for those later. Kind of going the opposite that I should have gone. I should have started with the skin and then worked my way and done this stuff later, but heck, we're past the point of no return. So it is what it is. I wasn't thinking. I'm really digging this Tyranid guy. It is quite the interesting character. And speed paints are definitely the way to go if you don't want to spend a lot of time learning to paint, I guess, technically. And we'll come back and we'll hit that later. I just want to get some of the big ones. Because we do got to come back with the red. So, but that's what we got so far. How does that look? Pretty good, pretty good. Let's see. This will just be going back and forth. I'm going to try to clean up my bottles, because that's the goal for 2026, is trying to stay clean. Now the question is, what type of red are we going to do? We do have slaughter red, which is some like blood red. We've got some carmine dragon, which could be good, and then we have some oranges that we could do on there as well, like a bright orange, nuclear sunrise. Holy crow. So we want to try to limit this to speed paints. What is this other one? Poppy red. This is kind of darker. And so we'll go with the darker, and then we could kind of go through and we could do some little highlight areas with some of the orange, I think. And then for some contrast, we could either do more black around that or even some crazy colors. I don't know. Let us see. Is there any other black I want to do? Yeah, I think I'll do this Hooves black. Hooves? Hooven? Oh, that's going to be... We'll hit all that after. Have to say good day. Have to go to bed. Get up early. All right, Swedish Forge. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Good thing is this is all in video, so you can check it out later. Let's see. I think we're good on that. Let's try the poppy red and see what happens. See if we can get some color in here. That will be the interesting part. Poppy red to the rescue. HQ. And worst case scenario, if it doesn't turn out good, we can just print out another one. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting color. Brush has got like a weird shape to it. Alrighty, let's go ahead and we'll start with the arm. See how this looks. That is going to be an interesting color. Alrighty then. Yeah, probably should have done the skin first. Oh, that is quite the good color though. I'll save the claws for like some more black. Oh yeah, that is going to be pretty neat looking. Somebody's going to say, why are you painting underneath? No one's going to see it. No one's going to know. I will know. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. What do you think? Ooh. Yeah, that is going to be good. Let's go ahead and we'll do the other arm. And then we could throw on a little bit of orange on there as well, with some different colors. Just need to be careful. Oh yeah, this is going to be nice. And I think that black will, this contrast of the red and the black will really work. Another good one would be yellow. So maybe we could do something in yellow and see how that would turn out. I think this is going to turn out really nice. I'm liking this already. You can see that there, and then we can do some little, see if we can blot on like some orange or something like that for some highlighting. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I should have done the skin first. Let's see where I got some stuff on the on the bone, which, let's see if we can't like get that off. No. No, that's not going to work. Live and learn, live and learn. I'll just, maybe I can hide that with some blood splatter. And that's some bone there, so. What is the color on the black scales called? It is Grim Black. Grim Black. I like it. It's kind of like a kind of got some gray in it. Let's see if we can do this without screwing up. And this is pretty interesting little character here. His tail's kind of in the way, a little bit, sort of. And some tight spaces in there. We got this whole inner thigh that we got to do. And this calf is way down in there. That's kind of such an angle, it's not going to be too bad. Damn it. Seriously? That's what I get for screwing up. Should have done the body first. Should have done the blood red first. Oh well. Remember that, Wilson, for next time. Skin first, because it's the... You can always kind of go over the other stuff. But my thinking was, this red is going to have a lot of coverage. And then if you do the bony matter, like say if I mess up and put red on something, like that was the skulls or the plates or whatever, the bony matter is not really going to, it's still going to look red. because of the see-throughness of the paint, of the speed paint. So I think it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing. I think this will turn out good if we do some highlights on here. That model is still drinking the paint. Yeah, and even though I did the black primer and yeah. But it is what it is. Because I did black primer and then I did the gray. And then I did a white paint over that. So, it is what it is. So, oh well. The good thing is we're getting a gradient on it. So, from the zenithal. I'll have to come back with that a little bit. Q-tips are good. Basically, I just kind of did everything on this with the red, but it's kind of like now I'm seeing the different color on it. But, oh well. We'll just work with it and see what we can do. That's all we can do. Those back scales, yeah, they look really good. I'll do some more with the black on these little things. So I think that'll come out nice. I want to get a smaller detail brush and we'll go back and we'll hit hit like the really finer points. So we'll see if we can clean that up a little bit later-ish. Now, let's see if we can get a little bit of that abdomen that is tucked way in there. That is so far away. Nice. Okay. Let me do a little bit of, do some red on this guy here. Because basically it's another arm. Maybe on some of those things that are popping out that are not not spikes or talons. Maybe we could do those in like an orange. Let's see what that'll look like. So do a little bit of a highlighting, I guess you could say. That's kind of a I think we'll do a bony claw, stuff like up in there. Poppy red, not bad. Not bad at all. I think some of that orange will come in handy when we check that out. And we could add some, like I said, some highlights onto that. So yeah, how's that turning out? Not bad. Oh, and his tail. We got a whole lot to do on his tail. Yeah, I think we could do some streaks of that orange. I think that could look really good. Oh man, that is just... I mean, this was in pieces, and I was like, maybe I should try to just paint this like piece at a time and then put it together. And then I was like, that would take long. That would take a long time. Just little tiny dots. Yeah, I think this will turn out good. And we will save some bony matter for the end piece. And it is kind of cool to see how, like right in there, you can see how it's white, and then you get the gradient down there. So that does, the zenithal actually does work, because you're getting a darker red. So if you can see that there, you get brighter, and then it goes to darker, and that's because of that zenithal that we ended up doing. more. I think this brush is, these cheapo brushes are cheap. Try to use them as best I can, but so I think we did pretty good. Oh, there's a little bit there. Yeah, I should have done the red first, but oh well. Now the head is going to be interesting. In fact, let's go to a smaller size brush. I think this one is good. We will get in here. That head is tucked away. And then for the teeth and everything, I'll go through with the maybe some army painter bone or something to try to get some contrast on the teeth. So those will really stick out. So those won't be speed paint, but hey. So there we can see we got. Getting there. Now it's just in that neck area. So I look at this from different angles, I'm like, oh crap, there's more stuff I need to paint. Oh, I got a little bit on his. There we go. Clean that up a little bit. There's something to be said because the head was a separate piece. Of course, the talons, big talons, and the arms were separate pieces. The legs were separate pieces, and then this big, huge bony part was a separate piece as well. So, yeah. And I definitely got some areas that I missed. Clean this up a little bit. with some bone on there. So let's do the red down on these things here. I think that'll be a good. The funny thing is, I've actually seen people that like argue on stuff like this. That's not correct. That's not the correct way how to paint it. It's like, it's a made-up character. It's like, hold your horses there, Johnny. It's I paint it whatever color I want. Some people just go off the rails. They're just really serious about this, you know, especially like Warhammer people. Some Warhammer people, I won't say all. But some people just get nuts on it. It's like, okay. Let's see. Anything else that needs red? Oh, there's a little bit. Right there. Needs a little bit. Guess we can fill that in a little bit. That side. And check that arm. Oh, there's a little bit there. Oh, there's a little bit, tiny little spot. That's a good thing about having the white, is that it's really evident on, you know, what areas you missed. That I am pretty pleased with. We'll come back with bone on that. I think we're doing okay. Not that anybody's going to see that, but we'll paint it anyway. So let's take a look. That's turned out good. I'd definitely give a thumbs up for that. Let's see what we got. George, that model is still drinking in the paint. Ferrith has said those black scales. I'm in love. I know. Gotta love the Tyranids. And to be honest with you, I wasn't like too thrilled. I was like, bugs. You know, I'm more like a space marine, human defense force, you know, military army type of guys. And of course, as soon as I wash the brush, I can find something else that I needed to paint. What are the odds? But I'm kind of digging this. I'm digging the Tyranid. Digging it. Okay. Looking good on that. So we can go back to go back to doing our bone thing, which was, that's peachy flesh. We wanted bony matter. So we're going to do bony matter on these, which, interesting. We could do a different color on these pieces here. You could do a satchel brown. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get a little bit of craziness in there. Fire drake, that could be a good one as well. Ooh, ooh, fire drake. Oh, like fire drake for this piece here, and then that front section, because that is a real vibrant color. Brown is brown, but that fire drake, yes, let's do that. This will knock your socks off. Let me show you what we're talking about here. So, see how that's like a different, oh yeah, that'll be good. That's what we want. It's a real rich, deep color. That'll really bring in some, instead of it just a ton of bony matter. Oh man, I can't see that. Pretty messed up. You can see the white, but you can't get to it. And there's still an area in there which I could get some red that I missed. We could clean that up. Yeah, this is going to look nice. We could even do, let's just hit some of these little areas here. There's some of that. And then maybe even these spikes. Oh yeah, that's money. That is money. Oh yeah. That is going to be good. Look at that. Right in there. And we can even take this and just kind of do a little bit of a line into that. So we've got kind of a line, and that'll break up a lot of that bony color. Oh yeah, that'll look good. anybody else get excited painting and then you're standing on, or you're sitting, but you get up on your toes because you're like, oh, I need to learn to relax. Oh yeah, Fire Drake is the bomb. That's going to add a little bit of extra pop, a little bit extra on there. Oh yeah, that is going to be good, good. Maybe we'll just continue. I'll just put a little lineage. Oh yeah, that'll be good. And then we just do some. That'll work. That'll work. Nice, nice, nice. First I was skeptical with the red, but you're right, it really looks good. Really good eye for that. Turned out all right. It's coming together. Just the luck of the draw, I guess. We'll do a little bit of a line in there. Same on the other side. So a little bit of work on there. Nice. Scales are good. Scales are good. Gives me demon vibes. That Tyranid almost needs a lava base. Oh yeah, the lava base. That would be so good. the lava base would do that. Now here, let's see. I'll just kind of stipple in some color here. Just put a little bit of a different on there. And could end up, let's see if we can. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Kind of blend that in there a little bit. That'll look good. Good. Let's do some across the top here. See if we can blot that in the center and kind of like get a different, so it's not all one big giant color. Kind of blot that in there so we can kind of blend it a little bit. So you got kind of a little bit of an orange going thing, or warmer color. So that way we get kind of a stripe, but it's blended in. Okay, yeah, that is turning out good. Nicey, nicey. If that's a word. I'm wondering. Yeah, maybe I should have blended this in a little bit more. That's okay. You get the idea. And then I think we do the inside with the with this. That fire drake. I can hear our robot is cleaning. We have a cleaning robot. This little one of those little floor dealies. So it'll sweep and then mop. Does surprisingly well. Yeah, the fire drake worked. I like it. It's a good color. I'll just throw some of that on there on the front. Oh yeah. Daddy like. Daddy like. A little dark, but I think it'll work. So there. You can see that there. That looks good. I dare say. And I think we'll do the fire drake on this up here too, because I think that'll be a good contrast. So that way we can, instead of just having like bony matter in a bunch of places, we can get like a good contrast. Sounds like I know what I'm saying, right? When I say contrast, I think it just means different colors. Oh yeah, that was nice. Nice. A little bit on there. And go back with that black. Pretty good for not really having a plan on what colors to use, I guess. Yeah, what do you think? It'll look all right, and then we could take this color and we could also do like these little spiky bits here, and that'll kind of hopefully tie everything in together. That's what I'm thinking anyway, so we'll see how that goes. Either way, it's going to be painted, and it won't be on the shelf of shame, the pile of shame. Yeah, I like our little cleaning robot. It goes through, it sweeps the entire floor, and then it goes back and it mops, and everything's all clean. So if you're wondering what that noise sounds like, a vacuum, that's a little cleaning robot. And mine doesn't mop, but yeah, those little robots are really nice. Fairth says, when Steve doesn't know what he's talking about when talking about painting, while painting another masterpiece without having a plan. It just worked out, that's all. It just worked out. Let's do the spiky bits. Some of those fire drake. And I guess we could do that one there too, why not? Even though they're not spiky, we can just, these are spiky. This will be a good one here. And then his tail. I wonder if I should try to blend that into the tail or just kind of let it go. detail's going to look good. And maybe with some of those oranges we can come through and try to highlight some areas. That's going to be red, but wasn't thinking about that. And again, the body composition of the Tyranid I'm not well versed in, so. Even with this color, we could try to blend that in a little bit to break up some of the red, but I think we'll do better with the orange. I should have left those white, but oh well. Live and learn. Live and learn. So yeah, we got some good little colors going on there. We're doing okay so far. Still need to come back with a wee bit of brown. You know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do these. I could probably go back and do those in black. But I like the fire drake. We'll see how this turns out. I'll probably go back and do these claws, these little feeler thingies. I'll probably do those in black. We'll come back and do that. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, and there's some, you do some little spikies on the top of his head there in the back. Put some little lines in there. A little bit of so you get a little bit of color, but not too crazy. I think that'll be all right. Let's do some like edge highlighting on that. Yeah. With this little cool color that we got going on with the fire drake. Nice, nice. very subtle, but good, 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 good. See how that's coming out. Let's see if we can get a little bit more light on this subject. Nice. Nicety, nice, nice. Looking really nice, thank you. When it works out every time, it's not an accident anymore. I don't know about that. Could just be a lucky streak. I think we'll do some of the I think we do need some black, maybe some black on the things that we just ended up doing, like on these pieces here. Do those in black. And I'm wondering about doing some black on his fingers. I don't know. Let's go back to some bony matter things that we need to fix up. We got some areas that are a little bit too white. That right there. If I can kind of darken that up a little bit, just a hair with that. Maybe blend that in. I think that's good. Some of this we can end up hiding, covering up some areas. Oh yeah, I missed that whole piece back there, and that there. Okay. Oh, pretty nice. Pretty nice. I think we're doing well. Now the other thing is want to try to do some orange to kind of highlight the red a little bit, because we notice like on these arms and everything, it's just like a big blotch of red. So I'm either going to do some orange. I could also do some black. Ooh, that would be good. Yes, we will do black. I'll show you why. I think you'll like it. Come on, try it. I think you'll like it. It's cat. Did you get that reference? It's cat from the Book of Eli, where he's feeding the mouse the cat that he killed. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of black right in that area there. And he's got another one on the arm there. We'll see how that turns out. Always get one on his thigh. He's got another one on the other thigh. That one's hidden. Oh yeah, I think that'll work. Cover up some spots. I do think we will hit these with black. At least. Part of them. So that way we get a little bit of difference. I need to learn more words, because when I'm painting, it's like highlight, contrast, highlight, contrast. So I need to learn more arty words, so it sounds like I know what I'm doing. You know, if I was thinking about it, I should have done that center part with the bony color, left that center white and did the bony color. Because that would have framed his face out. Darn it. Let's see, what else do we need to do in black? Do some little touch-ups here. $10 words sound fancy, but I think your work speaks for itself. Shapes and colors, shapes and colors. That's all I'm trying to do. But thank you. I appreciate the compliment. And let's see if we can just do some little, maybe kind of throw in some little colors here a little bit. Kind of accent some of these shadows or whatever, these recesses. Yeah, that'll do good. We got another little thing that we could put on there. Nice. And then we got some little strange circles here, so let's just do some stippling. I don't know if you can see that in there. Yeah, right in there. If you get some, just do some little bit of stippling. Of course, you can barely see it on this side. And a little bit of black in there. All right, Steve, dinner time for here. Seeing you, good seeing you as always. Enjoy your day. All righty, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you stopping by. I think we're pretty much almost done with this guy. We'll probably do some slaughter red, kind of clean up the teeth a little bit, but try to put some fluorescent green eye in there somewhere, and we'll see. That'll be pretty much it. And then the base. And maybe we'll save that for another video as well. Because I am hungry. Because it is what? Oh, it's 9:30. I have not had breakfast. Okay, so let me get another light because I want to try to get another little bit of light onto there. And see if we can't show you what we're talking about. Get a little bit of more of a lighted view. So, I don't know, is that going to work? So there she is, or he is. There it is. And yeah, I think we can end up getting, you know what, I might take that centerpiece. I don't know, we'll see. I think it turned out good though. Not bad. I know that red is kind of blowing out. It's kind of highly saturated on the camera feed, but I think what we'll do is we'll call this good. And yeah. And we'll come back another day, maybe tomorrow. And then that way we could just kind of come back and we'll do that orange bit tomorrow with a little bit of highlighting on the red, because there is just a lot of red in there, and maybe with some of these oranges we can do like some highlighting, and we can break up some of the large amounts of red that we have on like his hands, because his hands do have a lot of red. That's just a hell of a lot of red. So we need to do something with his hands. And then his tail's got a lot of red, and I think that's just screaming for some different colors to break that up as well. So I think if we strategically put some orange, and that'll kind of tie in with our fire drake color, I think that'll be pretty good. And then I think we can do a crackle base on that, and like I said, maybe a lava base, that would be cool. So we can see, we'd have to do that with like a fluorescent color, and then put the crackle on top of that, and hopefully that would work. So yeah, not bad at all. I think he's doing good. Alrighty. If you liked anything on this, or if it looks halfway decent, be sure to, let's see if we can zoom in on this a little bit. Boom, there he is. Not too bad. So yeah, there it is. That was good. That's my very first Tyranid. So the thing you got to remember with speed paints is that speed paints are really transparent. So, you know, you should probably have done the, skin first, but we ended up doing the bone. And yeah, I think we got some good colors there. The red looks a little bit orange on the feed that I'm seeing, but which is kind of odd. I think there's probably some, yeah, because that looks really orange, but in real life that is red. Let me see if I can clean that up, because that is, holy crow, that is orange. Temperature's a little warm. Tint is set at 0. I don't know, that's just a little, that color there is just really orange. It almost looks like a pumpkin, doesn't it? But it's not, it's more of a red. So you know what I can do? I can take a picture. So let me get this under the light. I'll do a quick pic. And you can throw it up on the screen and hope, well, is the picture going to show the, will it be the same color? We need photo, that would probably work. And we will do that. that one. And we'll do that one. And we'll do that one. So now, yeah, those look better. I'm wondering if these will work on the let's airdrop these real quick. We can throw them up on the screen. And booyah! Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Okay, first one. And we can adjust this a little bit. Let me take a look. Yeah, that looks a little better. So, yeah, we see we got some good colors in there. Like I said, with the red on the arms and everything, even though we do have some gradient details, we could probably do a wash to bring out some of those crevices and those creases. That could help, but I think we would need to, I don't know. That's why I'm thinking about doing a little bit of orange on there to kind of break up some stuff. Let's see, another picture. Boom. We'll take a look at the back. And let me crop this real quick. So, I can get a good look at this guy here. Nope, not that one. This one. And so, yeah, not too bad. I mean, what do you think? That turned out pretty good. The bone color and stuff like that, with the wash, the fire drake on there, a little bit of blotting, we see that. But again, that's a lot of red, and I'm thinking there's got to be something we could do to that. And also the tops of the bony structure on his back, I think we need to put some type of color on in those recesses there. And the last picture that we got. Let's see if we can just bring that down. It won't make this bigger. So, yeah. And we do see some gradient in the color because of the zenithal, but I think I got way too much white. So, yeah, I need to stick at like a 3/4 view or point of direction when I'm spraying the paint down. So that way we get some more darker shadow areas underneath. So I need to work on that, and I think that would have helped a lot as well. So, but yeah, not bad, not bad. We'll continue on with this guy, that's for sure. And I think it turned out good. My very first Tyranid. Oh, our baby's growing up. And remember, we ended up painting that on, or printing that on the Creality K2 Plus at 0.16 layer height with the 0.4 millimeter nozzle. So yeah, it was pretty good. Terry says it looks good. Yeah, thank you very much. MD, hey, yep, doing the wave and hand and puppy, cat, kitty, person wavy thing we got going on. So yeah, that's the fun that we've had this morning. So we'll do another video where we come back and maybe I'll do a few little cleanups on that, and we'll see if there's something in that regard. Kind of tweak some areas, and then in the next video, excuse me, we can do the base with, hopefully we can do a lava base. We'll see how that goes. With that crackle, I don't know how that's going to work, because I think you can paint on the base, and then, you know, your bright, fantastic neon looking reds and oranges and whatever, kind of mimic yellows, kind of like with the volcanic base type of thing that we got going on there. And then you put the crackle on top of it, which we did on our other guy. Yeah, that was our, where's he at? Here he is. So we did this guy, and we did, you see the base on how you've got that crackled look on there. That was that crackle. But the base was black underneath, and so I'm thinking if we do the base like that, we'll paint it yellow and orange and red and stuff like that, and then we'll be able to see those colors underneath when this crackle pops up. So yeah, this is the one that we did the Art Deco paints, and it turned out fairly well too. Of course, we had a little bit of a problem with our crackle. If you've seen the video, yeah, it exploded, and yeah, that's why his boots are covered and everything. There's a whole story behind that. You could see that, but these are the Art Deco paints, and that came out really well. So we will give that a try. We will give that a try, and we will see how that goes. Until then, we have the axe. Check out the axe. This axe is going to be the bomb. I can't wait to get this painted. This is, I want to do it justice. We're going to fill the seams and stuff like that, sand them, try to make it really smooth. We'll make this look really nice. Of course, the skull is going to be skull colored. We're going to have some silvers. We're going to have like a lead belcher, kind of dirty metal-ish look. We'll have some bronze on like some of the rivets and things like that. Maybe we'll throw in a little bit of gold. But this is going to be the bomb. And then it's like 40 inches long. So yeah, it is. I love this thing. I love this thing. That's why I have it sitting right by my desk, so I can look at it and say, oh, I love that. So yeah, that's what we ended up having. We had a good time. It is Friday here, the 16th of January here in Korea. Again, I'm Steve, the retired hobby tech guy, painting Tyranid, my very first Tyranid with speed paints, and we got some good results. Still some things that I want to change on that, but he will definitely be off the pile of shame. For those of you who don't know, a pile of shame is something, miniatures, models that you have printed out that you haven't painted, and so they're in this big pile and they're staring at you and you feel ashamed. So this guy got printed, he's going to get painted, and so basically no time on the pile of shame. So yeah, which makes it kind of bad because all the other models that are over here that have been waiting to get painted for 1 or 2 years, it makes the shame even more. So yeah, that's what we got going on. Okay, so there it is. Speed Paint 2.0 from Army Painter Paints are really good if you don't have it. Basically, it comes down, if you want to paint figures and make them tabletop ready, but you don't want to spend a ton of time, do your black primer. That's the first thing we end up doing. So kind of like what we end up seeing here. We black primed it, and then we went through with a gray, and we didn't really notice a big difference. Yeah, it comes out like a sander filler prime, but we did like a zenithal on that, and just, kind of burps. And I think I did just a little bit too much. I wish there was some more gradients, so I need to be careful on my application of said zenithal. So we did the gray one first, and I came back and did the white, but I think I did a little bit too much as far as the gray and the white. It was just too saturated, too much. I should have just less is more type of thing so we could get more gradient shadows underneath it, and which would give us gradients on the colors. So instead of having to go through like with regular paints, paint a color and then get a lighter color and then kind of blend that in, and then a darker, whatever direction you go, you're going to have to blend those paints together, and that's kind of time consuming. But with the zenithal process, boom. If you have that shadow look from the light or the white coming down, and then you have shadows on those areas, you can get that through speed paints. And again, it all comes down to how well your zenithal is. Even then, you can go back and fix it with washes and things like that. So really, if you don't want to get bogged down, I would suggest Speed Paint 2.0 from Army Painter, as get some good looking models, make them tabletop ready, and the learning curve is not huge. So there it is. That's it. That's all I got for the Speed Paint 2.0. So we'll continue on with that, and this is going to be an ongoing project, the axe. So we'll finish that guy up first, and then I'll probably do the seam filling and all of that cool stuff with, I don't know if, it's going to be hard to do that in like a live stream video, because I'd have to do all the filler, fill the seams, and then you got to wait for it to dry. And then you got to go back, and then you got to sand it. So I don't know if that would be a really good live stream video. You know, we've done a couple hours already just on painting alone, and I don't think filling the seams and then waiting and then going back, I mean, because it's got to dry and everything, I don't think that would be a thing. So, but painting, that could be another story. So we'll see how that goes. Alrighty, thank you everybody for watching, and if you want to get in contact with me, one thing you could do for me, please do this, please put a like onto the video. So that's the little thing that looks like that, and you can, boom, you can press that, give a like to the video, and if I could ask you to do one more thing. The second thing is if you could subscribe to the channel, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and so that way you can see the other stuff that I end up doing. So we do 3D printing, we do painting, resin printing as well. Also, I'm an American expat here in Korea, so I got videos on how we've done that. I haven't really done a big update on that. I want to try to get the wife in on a video and see if she can comment, but she's the kind of opposite of me. I don't mind being on camera. She doesn't like being on camera. So it's kind of that whole opposites attract type thing. But maybe we can get her 2 cents on what it feels like as a Korean citizen who became an American citizen, who came back to Korea to retire, kind of give some insight on her point of view. I mean, my point of view is my point of view, but it's always good to see what the wife thinks. So, and she's smarter than me, so that's win-win. So we're going to try, we're working on that. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, like and subscribe for all that. If you want to get in touch with me, here is my email address, official thevariedlife@gmail.com. I always answer my emails, so give me 1 or 2 days, but I'll always answer. Coffee, people bought me coffee who are awesome. Much respect to all those people. There's a link where you can buy me coffee if you want, but the best thing that you could do, again, like and subscribe to the channel. Don't worry about coffee, like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, that's going to be it. I think we're done. Thank you for watching. It's Friday here in Korea, so that means it's probably Thursday in the United States. Friday's coming. Print, paint, have fun, enjoy life. Life is too short to not have fun. Do something you enjoy with you or you and your significant other. Reach into that inner child and recapture some of the fun that you lost by being an adult. And yeah, I'm glad that I'm doing that at the age of 59. I really enjoy it. So, all right, with that said, we'll see you on the next video. Peace. Good stuff, good stuff.